Hello everyone, I am Dr. Preeti Khulbe and I am taking the lecture of pilot plant scale up technique today. This is my third lecture. If you want the detailed in the introduction as well as the general consideration related to the pilot plant scale up, so you can watch my previous two videos. So again, we are starting with the polyplant scale technique. The learning objective related to this is the after completion of this unit, the students will be able to learn about the various methods of scale up, the general consideration, the introduction related to the scale up technique, the various aspects related to the pilot plant scale up, as well as GMP consideration related to the scale up, good manufacturing practices, how the good manufacturing practices involves in the scale up. This we will discuss in today's lecture. Next is the learning outcome. So if we see the learning outcome, so upon completion of this unit, you will came to know about need of scale up, why the scale up is important, what are the specific criteria of scale up, how we can do the scale up. All these things you will learn in this topic, as well as pilot plant of various doses forms you will learn in this topic, like solid doses form, in solid tablet capsule, as well as liquid dose form, semi solid doses form. So different type of doses form, various doses forms, pilot plant scale up you will learn in this unit. After all, the next is the advantages and disadvantages of scale up technique. So you will also learn about the advantages and disadvantages of scale up technique, why we are doing the scale up, why it is not advantageous for us. So all these things you will you will be able to know after the completion of this unit. Now we have discussed about the scale up. We have discussed that the in our last class we have discussed about the pilot plant. What is pilot plant, what is scale up? So we have discussed that the pilot plant is the step which is in between the lab scale formula and the manufacturing of manufacturing in large scale. In between these two there is a scale up. So that means we can say it is a middle step. If we are designing certain formula in the R&D scale and we want to transfer it into the large scale, so we need to we need to go for the pilot plant scale up technique. We have discussed that these are two different terms, pilot plant and scale up, but these two are interrelated. That's why we take it into one together we take these two names because these are very much interrelated. In case of pilot plant, we just optimize the formula for the large scale production, and in scale up we use this optimized formula. In the pilot plant, we pilot plant during the pilot plant the formula is designed, and this optimized formula we use in scale up. Okay. Yeah, so one part of this pilot plant scale up is the transfer of analytical method to quality assurance. So as the formula is transferred to the from the R&D scale to the large manufacturing area, so similarly the along with the formula, analytical methods are also transferred from one place to another place, or we can say from small scale R&D to the large scale. Okay, so during the scale up of a new product, the analytic test method developed in research must be transferred to the quality assurance department. Okay, as we have discussed, the analytical method is transferred to the quality assurance department of that particular organization, that particular manufacturing area. Okay, so the early in the transfer process, the quality assurance staff should review the process to make sure that the proper analytic instrumentation is available and that personnel are trained to perform the test. So that means basically the if we'll transfer the analytical method earlier, so what will happen, it will easy to evaluate the manufacturing company related to the analytical method, as well as the they can train their personals to perform that test. If there is a specific test related to the new dosage form is there, so they can do this, they can modify, they can train their professionals accordingly, and they can arrange the instrumentation also, they can arrange the chemicals. So early transfer of this process, analytical process, to the quality assurance department is mandatory, or it is beneficial, we can say. Okay, the next is the yes. So during the scale up of the new formulation or new product, the analytic test method developed in research must be transferred to the quality assurance department. And early in the transfer process, the this we have discussed, the trained personnel should be trained properly. Now, next is the product stability and uniformity. So, the primary objective of the pilot plant is the physical as well as chemical stability of the product. So, when we are doing the pilot plant, so first of all, the thing which is important, we have to, we need to, check the stability. We need to, develop the stability, or we need to check the stability basically of the formulation, because chemical and physical stability of the product is essential for making the formulation. If it is not essential, if it is not stable, so we cannot make it. Okay, hence each pilot batches representing the final formulation and manufacturing procedure should be studied for stability. Stability studies should be carried out in finished package as well. So not only the raw material, but we have to check the finished product stability also. Yeah, so we need to check it, or we need to do the finished product stability studies. We need to do the stability studies in each and every step. Okay, now the GMP consideration. So from the first video, we are talking about GMP related to the scale up. So GMP, we have discussed the GMP. Full form of GMP is good manufacturing practices. So good manufacturing practices consideration, here we will discuss now. So what is GMP? So in GMP there are multiple things are involved. Good manufacturing practices, as the name suggests, like the manufacturing practices which are good, that is the all the manufacturing practices which leads to the qualitative product comes under the good manufacturing practices. So equipment qualification is the number one, then the process validation, then regularly scheduled preventive maintenance, then regularly process review and revalidation, relevant written standard operating procedure, the use of competent technically qualified personnel, adequate provisions for training of personnel, a well-defined technology transfer system, validated cleaning procedure, an orderly arrangement of equipment so as to ease material flow and prevent cross contamination. So all these things are related to the GMP consideration. Now we'll take it one by one. So equipment qualification, that means in simple word we can say that our equipment should be qualified for the manufacturing of that particular product. Okay, it will depends upon the product to product, it will different, the equipment to equipment it will different, so that we can say that equipment is qualified or equipment is suitable for the for making the qualitative product, as well as the qualitative product is that, or equipment is having the capacity to give the repetitive results. Okay, so that means we can say that if our disintegration test apparatus not exactly the disintegration test apparatus. Basically we can say, yeah, for example our tablet compression machine, if it gives the 100 tablets in 1 hour, this is just an example, so it will repetitively give the 100 tablets per hour. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए that 1 hour में it will give the 110 tablets, 120 tablets and another hour में उसमें काम दे दे. So it will be uniformity of the results through the equipment should be there. Okay, next one is the process validation. Process is always validated as per the GMP. That means the process validation, we can say that if we are following that certain process, so we will get the proper same results. For example, if we are making the syrup and we are following the 5 steps and making a syrup of having certain characteristics, so if we will follow these 5 steps repetitively, मतलब अगर हम 5 बार same follow करें repetitively, same results करें, so it will same process follow करें, so it will give the same results repetitively. 5 results will be same. Okay, so this is the process validation, that is process is validated, so we don't need to change it, and repetitive results will get basically. Okay, the next is regularly process review and revalidation. So in this it is important to review the process intermediately, that is if after each and every step we should review the process, so that there should not be any changes in the process. Like ऐसा हो सकता है कि कभी कभी in between the process due to certain maybe due to environmental changes, due to any changes, personal changes, there may be the variation in the formula, variation in the process, so it can be easily detected. So regular review of process and revalidation is essential. Time to time, ऐसा नहीं है कि we have just validated the method once, but we have to revalidate the process time to time. Okay, now relevant written standard operating procedure. So when we are validating the process, when we are making the master manufacturing formula, so we have to make the SOPs of all the equipments and all the processes also. SOPs is standard operating procedure, in which we have to write each and every steps of doing the process, or each and every steps of using that particular equipment. So it is very essential for making the SOPs, so that for example one person is appointed for certain process, but due to some reasons that person will be in leave, for example, or may change the company, switch your company. So what will happen? So the product quality and the results will not affect, so that will follow the standard operating procedure. So if we have the written procedure for each and every process, so what will happen, चाहे मैं उस product को बनाऊँ या कोई और, तो उससे कोई भी result में there is no variation in the result due to the personal changes, right? The next is use of competent technically qualified persons. So obviously as per the GMP, the qualified person should be there for any any process, because what will happen so basically in this we can say that as per the GMP also, the persons which are qualified can only be do that particular work. For example, in the manufacturing, if B Pharmacy degree is required, so you should be trained in it. You should be like have that degree. In case of lab testing, if a certain diploma and degree is required, so you should have the qualifications for doing that particular particular work. Without qualification, without qualified person, you cannot appoint in that place. Okay, now adequate provision of training of personnel. So if there should be, as per GMP, if the person is new in the company and if the person is new in any process, so there should be some training program related to that work. Work should be there or should provided by the company as per the GMP. a well-defined technology transfer system. There should, in each and every company, as per GMP, a well-defined technology transfer system should be there. That is, if you are transferring some technology from one department to the another department, from one plant to the another plant, so there should be one well-defined system that how that technology will transfer. Okay, so it should be there in each and every company. Okay. Now, validated cleaning procedure. So not only the validated process or process validation should be there, but as per the GMP there should be a validated cleaning procedure is there. Okay, so if there is no proper cleaning procedure, so obviously because it is a because we are dealing with the pharmaceutical preparation, so it may be there may be problem related to cleaning may occur. So you should have there should be a validated cleaning procedure related to the this company should be there. Last but not the least, an orderly arrangement of equipment so as to ease of material flow and prevent cross contamination. So this is again a very important and interesting thing, that you cannot place any equipment in any place. Okay, as we have discussed also in our last video related to the storage area. Okay, we have discussed related to the equipment area, we have discussed that there should be some equipment area, and near to the equipment area there should be a testing area, physical testing area should be there. So we have already discussed all these things. So in last point, what it is mentioned, that the equipments are placed in a company in an orderly manner, Now what is this orderly manner? That means the equipments are placed so that there is a easy of transfer of material flow is there. For example, that the processes, step by step processes, first we need to make the granules in the granulator. So first in the company, first granulator is placed, then we have to compress it, then compression machine should be there, then coating is there, coating pan is there, then after that packaging is there. There should be this is known as the orderly arrangement. You cannot place the coating machine first, then after coating machine if there is a granulation, then compression. So what will happen after compression? You have to come back and you have to place the compressed tablet into that coating pan. Okay, so it is not this is not called the proper arrangement. So as per the GMP, there should be an orderly arrangement of the equipment related to the any product is there, so that it is easy the material flow, and it also prevents the cross contamination. Yeah, so next is the advantages. So advantages are members of the production and quality control divisions can readily observe the scale up runs. This is the first advantage of GMP consideration related to the pilot plant, that easy observation of the scale up by the members of production and quality control may be there. Supplies of excipients and drugs cleared by the quality control divisions can be withdrawn from the more spacious areas provided to the production division. So you can easily provide the if the proper space is there, so you can easily provide the production divisions easy we can say the easy supply of the excipients and drug is there, as we have discussed that there should be a proper area. Now access to engineering department personnel is provided for equipment installation, maintenance and repair. Okay, so you can easily access the engineering department persons to provide the for equipment installation and maintenance and repair. So easy access of engineering department for the installation and maintenance and repair. This is the next advantage related to the GMP consideration in the pilot plant scale up. Now there are some disadvantages also. The frequency of direct interaction of formulator with the production personnel in the manufacturing area will be reduced. because there are proper space, dignified space is there related to the different persons. So the direct interaction of the formulator and manufacturing persons which are involved in the production is very difficult. Any problem in manufacturing will be directed towards its own pilot plant persons. So this is the again next disadvantage of this process. Now the pilot plant scale up of tablet design. So we'll discuss the scale up technique of different formulations. So first we'll start with the solid dosage form. In solid dosage form, you know that there is a the solid dosage form, the most basic solid dosage form is tablet. So the pilot plant of tablet we will start with. So the primary responsibility of the pilot plant staff is to ensure that the newly formulated tablet developed by the product development persons will be proven to be efficiently, economically and consistently reproducible on a production scale. So that means we can say that if we'll use the proper formula, if we'll use the proper thing, then there should be a proper the same reproducible production rate should be there should be economically and efficient product should be formed. This is the first thing which is there in the related to the tablet design. The second is the design of construction of the pharmaceutical pilot plant for tablet development should incorporate features necessary to facilitate maintenance and cleanliness. So so if you are designing or constructing certain pharmaceutical pilot plant for the tablet development or for any type of doses form, we can say, so there should be facilitated maintenance and cleanliness program should be there. If possible, it should be located on the ground floor to expedite the delivery and shipment of the supplies. So because of easy easy transfer of material, easy suppliers, easy shipment, it should if possible it should be there in the ground floor of the company or plant. Okay, the microbial contamination can be avoided by the following ways. Now when we are designing the when we are doing the pilot plant scale up of the tablet, then the microbial contamination can also be avoided by different things. So first one is the fluorescent lighting feature. Fixtures should be the ceiling flush type, and the various operating areas should have floor drains to simplify the cleaning. The area should be air conditioned and humidity controlled. The high density concentrate floors should be installed. The walls in the processing and packaging area should be animal cement finish on concentrate. The equipment in the pharmaceutical pilot plant should be similar to that used by the production division, manufacturers and of tablet. Okay, so these are certain we can say 6 points which we can use to avoid the microbial contamination in the in the production area. So here you can see that in the chart different areas which are related to the tablet manufacturing are given. So here you can see this is the quarantine area. This is the storage area for drugs and excipients which we are receiving from the suppliers. Then this is the weighing area where we have to weigh the proper amount related to the doses form. Then this is the spray drying area, this is the milling area, this is the drying area. Milling area, you know that we need, if we want a certain type of granules, we need the milling area also if you want to mill certain things. Okay, then granulation, here we have to make the granules. Then blending will done if you want to mix 2 or 3 ingredients, then we need a blender. And the cleaning area is there. Then there is a tablet compression area, there is a coating area, there is a packaging area, there is a conference room and library, then manager's room and security office. So you can see here, this is the layout of the tablet compression tablet pilot plant. So you can see here, as we have discussed, that there should be a proper arrangement of equipment. So you can see that there is a area is divided accordingly. Okay, spray drying, first we have to dry, so drying is there, then milling, drying area is there, then granulation is there, after granulation there should be blending, then cleaning is there. If you want to clean the tablet, if you want to clean the certain things related to the tablet compression and coating, you can I take it here and you can clean here. So you can also, but in case of tablet compression machine and big equipments like pan coating, so it will be cleaned here only in that place. Then we have to compress it. After compression, that there should be a coating of tablets, so there is a coating. Then after coating there should be a packaging area. So packaging area mein it will be packed, and in conference room there is a conferencing related meetings and all happens. And then after that manager office is there and security office is there. So administrative department, we can say all the administration related things happens here in this area. Yeah, so this is that. And next is this here you can see the floor plan of the small scale plant is there. So here the tablet compression is there, here granulation, drying and milling is there, here coating area is there, then after that weighing and quarantine storage area and office is there. So you can see here, this is the only four cubed, we can say, area is there, very small area is there. Here you can see the diagrammatic representation of this thing is there. In case of tablet, this is the tablet coater. Here the direct compression, then dry milling, blending and mixing, which we have discussed in the last. Here the it is certain diagrammatic form is shown. The hoist is there, the dispensing is there, then there is a granulator, fluidized bed dryer, then dry milling, after that tablet compression, then charge bag, then last में tablet coater is there. So here the similar thing is there, but just represented by the diagram. So you can see here. Now here is the stages of the production of tablet. So you can see, if you know the how the tablet is produced, so it is very easy to understand it. The first one is material handling, then dry blending, then granulation, then drying, then reduction of particle size, then spatial granulation technique, then dry blending, direct compression and slugging, that is dry granulation. Okay, so these are the basic steps which are there in the production of tablets. So first one is the material handling. So material handling is basically how we handle the material, that is, we can say that how much amount we should weigh and how to get that weighed amount of that particular drug and excipient. So this will take in the material handling. So first we need to weigh, or we need to take the proper amount of drug and excipients which we want to compress. Then second is step is the dry blending, that is all the dry ingredients we should blend, that is mixed together by using the blender. This is known as the dry blending. Then granulation. In granulation we need to add some granulating agent like liquid. In most of the cases it may be the water, it may be the IPA, so you have to add it and you have to make the granules by using granulator. In case of R&D, we just need it like, for example, need it like a dough, Okay, we make a dough, we knead it, we make a dough, and we'll then pass it through the sieve, proper number of sieves, so that we can get the granules. But in large scale we should have the granulator, so we should keep it into the granulator. Then after that, drying is there. So in drying we should dry it into the oven or in any dryer which you have in your company, or which you can take, anyone dryer you can take. The next is the reduction of particle size. Then after the drying, we need to reduce the particle size by using different mills. We can reduce the size of the that particular tablet. After that, the special granulation technique we can use. If we want to use a special type of granules, we can use the dry blending technique, we can use the direct compression, we can use the slugging. In case of slugging, if you have studied about the tablet, you know that what is dry granulation. So in dry granulation, we first need to make a large size tablets, then we should break it into the small particles, so that there is a granules are formed. Actually, what happened, we use this dry granulation technique if our material is moisture sensitive, because it is moisture sensitive, so we cannot do the wet granulation. So that's why we use the slugging technique in many of the cases to form the proper size of granules. Okay, so this is again a very important type of technique. Other than that, direct compression technique is there. In direct compression, we just take the material and we compress it. For the direct compression technique, as it is very simple, but there should be a compressibility in the ingredients, the drugs as well as the excipients should be compressible in nature. If it is not, so you cannot do this direct compression technique. You cannot use. In dry blending, you just need to blend and then compress it like this. Okay. So the next is material handling. As we discussed that how the material is transferred from one place to another place, how we can use this technique for that manufacturing or formulation. This comes under the material handling. So in the laboratory of in the laboratory material are simply scooped or poured by hand, or but in intermediate or large scale operations, handling of the materials often become necessary. So handling is proper handling should be there. Some materials we can weigh by using pour by using our hands with the gloves, or for some material we need certain things, certain equipments for the transfer. So this we will consider. The next is, if a system is used So if the system is used to transfer materials for more than one product, steps must be taken to prevent cross-contamination. Any material handling system must be delivered an accurate amount of the ingredients to be, to the designation. So any material which we are handling should be delivered in accurate amount. This is the main thing, that we should weigh it and we should properly transfer it, so that the accurate amount is transferred. In some materials, some drugs are very potent, mgs and micrograms we have to take, so it should not be there should be accuracy. Basically, the type of system selected also depends on the characteristics of the material. So which type of system you are selecting, either you are selecting a pouring system, so it will all depends upon the type of material you are handling. If you are handling a liquid material, so accordingly you can select the material, select the type of system. And if you are selecting the go for the this solid material, so you can go accordingly. More sophisticated methods of handling materials, such as vacuum loading system, metering pumps, screw feed system, etc. There is no or minimal loss of material. So there should not be any loss of material. The loss of material is not significant. So always we should transfer the accurate amount of material from one place to another place. Okay, so there is no loss of contamination. There should not be any loss of contamination. Now dry blending. So dry blending process used a binary method, binary cohesive powder mixture which contains two different sizes. It is well known that finer particles adhere preferentially on the surface of the coarse particles. This type of mixture has been called an interactive mixture. The blending of fine and coarse particles breaks down the agglomerates of fine and coarse powders and produces an electric charges by contact and collision between the particles. So basically dry blending में we used to blend the two type of powders, two different sizes we are taking. Some are fine, some are coarse particles, and we should this mix it accordingly. Okay, so this is about the dry blending method. Next one is the dry blending continue. So here you can see the dry blender equipments are handled by the personals. So powders to be used for encapsulation are to be granulated and must be well blended to ensure good drug distribution. Inadequate blending at this stage could result in discrete portions of the batch being either high or low in potency. Steps should also be taken to ensure that all the ingredients are free from lumps and agglomerates. For these reasons, screening and or milling of the ingredients usually makes the process more reliable and reproducible. So it is mandatory to use these type of methods. Now scale up consideration. If we see the scale up, so we have to scale three types of things we should consider when we are involved in the blending. So time of blending is one, second one is blender loading, and third one is size of blender. So all three are we should consider while we are scaling up the blending process. Okay. Yeah, so so when we are doing the scale up of blending, we should consider all three: time of blending, how much time it will take to blend the product, because the time of blending for each product is different. Now blender loading, okay, what is the loading speed of the blender? How much load the blender can take, like depending upon its capacity, we can load the 70% of blender, we can load. Size of blender, either we can use a small size or large size. All these things are dependent upon the type of product we are manufacturing. So that's why the scale up consideration involve these three things. So these are the references. We have also discussed the references in our last two videos. So you can go through any reference, any book which is having the pilot plant scale up. There are multiple journals which has the recent articles related to the pilot plant scale up. Now the some question answer time. So objective questions, we have also discussed about the question in our last two videos, so you can also go for this. You can also go for that questions. So the first question is the which is not true about pilot plant. So just focus not true about. Stability testing is important. Transfer of analytical QA method is important. No need to follow the GMP and space requirement to be discussed. Obviously, the very obvious answer is no need to follow the GMP. It is not true about the pilot plant, because we have discussed a lot that GMP is essential for the this pilot plant scale up. GMP consideration in pilot plant not included: budget requirement, regularly process review and revalidation, relevant written standard operating procedure, the use of competent technically qualified personnel. So GMP is not included. The answer A is correct, that is budget requirement. Budget requirement is not included in this. Okay, The next is which is not a part of space requirement in pilot plant. So administration obviously required. We have discussed about different area required. Physical testing area, yes, we should require it. Storage area, yes, and building area, no building area is required. Actually, building area is there. It is required, but it is not there in the pilot plant requirement. Now next is it is true about pilot plant physical testing area. Provide permanent bench top space. Movable bench tops are necessary. No requirement of bench tops, and equipments need to be shifted time to time. So yeah, the answer is we are the answer is A. Provide permanent benchtop space, because we need to keep the equipments there, physical testing equipment there. For example, friability tester, weighing machine. So we need a proper permanent benchtop. Next is the disadvantage of pilot plant is any problem in manufacturing will be directed towards its own pilot plant personnel. The frequency of direct interaction of the formulator with the production personnel in the manufacturing area will be increase in cost, increase in personal requirements. So disadvantages, the major disadvantage of pilot plant is any problem in manufacturing will be directed towards its own pilot plant personnel. The next is the tablet pilot plant does not include sterility testing. It is not include. Compression cycle, yes, it is include. Coating parameter, granulation, because this is very simple question. As you know that tablet has all the steps, compression is there, coating is there, granulation is there. So in normal type of tablet, no sterility testing is required. Instead you are making some microbial type of antibiotic type of tablet. So here the general tablet we are discussing. So the answer is A. How many areas are there in storage? 2, 3, 4 or 5. So answer is yes, answer is 2. Two storage areas are there. Storage area we can divide into 2. One is approved, one is unapproved. Actually there are many questions which are from our previous videos, because these are very interrelated things. Okay, so you have to go for that video also for answering these questions if you want to answer these questions. Next is in pilot plant, the review of formula not included. Review of the each aspects of formulation, purpose of each ingredient, effect of scale up using equipment or equipment validation. Obviously all these things are important. Review of each aspect of formulation, obviously it is needed. Har ek ingredient ka, each and every ingredient we should know the purpose of that particular ingredient, so that if required we can change it. Effect of scale up using equipment, yes, it is also essential, and equipment validation is also essential. In pilot plant, process evaluation include accept temperature, screen size, mixing speed and cost. Obviously in pilot plant scale up, cost is not included. Last question is stages of production of tablet includes accept material handling, it is there. Dry blending, it is there. Granulation, it is there. Filling is not there because it is a solid dosage form in tablet, so filling is not required here. Okay, so you can say that not included is except the filling, all the steps are there. Okay, so thank you. This is all about the today's lecture, and we have discussed about the pilot plant scale up technique, and this is our third video. If you want the introduction part as well as general consideration part, you can watch my previous 2 videos. So here today we have discussed about the technology transfer. Today we have discussed about the transfer of analytical method to the quality assurance. We have discussed its importance. We have also discussed about the GMP consideration. So why GMP is important, how it is important. So all these things we have discussed in today's slide. Other than that, we have discussed about some GMP based advantages and disadvantages in it, as well as We have discussed about the disadvantages of having the GMP consideration. We have discussed about pilot plant scale up of tablet design. We have discussed about layout of tablet compression area. We have discussed about the diagrammatic representation also. We have discussed about different stages of production of tablets, material handling, dry blending, etc. Okay, so these are the references, and we have discussed the number of questions related to this. So yeah, thank you so much. And if you have any query related to it, you can go, you can see the you know next videos. And if you have any queries, you can see the next videos. And if you you have not find the answers of the objectives, some of the objectives are from my previous videos, so you can watch it and you can answer them. Yeah, so yeah, thank you very much. Okay, so thanks for watching my video.